Books have the power to inspire, educate, and entertain readers, and many iconic works have fascinating stories behind them. Some famous books are known for their complex plots, memorable characters, or social impact, but there are lesser-known facts about them that might surprise even the most avid readers. From authors' creative struggles to the unexpected origins of literary classics, here are 10 trivia facts about famous books that you might not have known. 1. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Did you know that J.K. Rowling's iconic series was initially rejected by multiple publishers? In fact, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was turned down by 12 publishers before being picked up by Bloomsbury, who reportedly told Rowling that she should get a day job because she had no future in writing children's books. Now, the Harry Potter series is one of the best-selling book franchises in history. 2. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Moby Dick is now considered one of the greatest American novels, but when it was first published in 1851, it was a commercial failure. Herman Melville struggled to find an audience for his complex and philosophical tale of obsession and revenge. In fact, Melville died thinking of the novel as a failure, but its later revival cemented its place as a literary classic. 3. 1984, by George Orwell. George Orwell's dystopian masterpiece, 1984, was not initially titled as such. Originally, Orwell had planned to call the book The Last Man in Europe. However, the publisher rejected this title, and Orwell eventually chose 1984, a seemingly random number that has since become synonymous with totalitarianism and state surveillance. 4. The Catcher in the Rye, by J.D. Salinger. J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye is one of the most frequently challenged books in the U.S. for its themes of rebellion and profanity. Despite its controversial reputation, the novel was initially praised for its depiction of teenage angst. In fact, the book became a cultural touchstone for many young readers, often resonating with those grappling with their own questions about identity and alienation. 5. Pride and Prejudice, by Jane Austen. Although Pride and Prejudice is now one of the most beloved novels of the English language, it was initially published anonymously in 1813. Jane Austen's name didn't appear on the book until much later in her career. It wasn't until after her death that the public fully recognized Austen's remarkable talent, and the novel became regarded as one of the finest works in English literature. 6. The Great Gatsby, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Great Gatsby is now considered a staple of American literature, but when it was first published in 1925, it received only lukewarm reviews. F. Scott Fitzgerald struggled to make the book a commercial success, and it wasn't until years later, particularly during the 1950s and 1960s, that the novel gained widespread popularity and became an essential part of the American literary canon. 7. Frankenstein, by Mary Shelley. Frankenstein, by Mary Shelley is often mistakenly thought of as simply a horror novel about a scientist and his monstrous creation. However, it was originally conceived during a summer vacation in 1816 when Shelley and her companions, Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley, were stranded indoors due to the eruption of Mount Tambora, which caused a volcanic winter. To pass the time, they held a ghost story contest, and this is how Mary Shelley came to write Frankenstein. 8. To Kill a Mockingbird, by Harper Lee. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird was published in 1960 and quickly became an important work addressing racial inequality in America. However, what many people don't know is that Lee never published another novel during her lifetime. She spent decades working on a second novel that was rumored to be based on her life, but it was never completed or released. 9. The Lord of the Rings, by J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien's epic fantasy trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, is one of the most famous literary works in the genre. The book was originally intended to be a single volume, but due to its length, it was split into 3 separate books: The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Additionally, Tolkien invented entire languages, such as Elvish, to enrich his fictional world. 10. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, by Lewis Carroll. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was originally written by Lewis Carroll as a story for a young girl named Alice Liddell, the daughter of a family friend. Carroll created the fantastical tale during a boat ride on the River Thames. The book's nonsensical style and dreamlike logic have made it a timeless classic in children's literature. Books are not just stories, they carry rich histories and fascinating backgrounds. From unexpected rejections to lasting legacies, the tales behind famous books are just as captivating as the content within their pages. The next time you pick up one of these literary classics, remember the intriguing trivia that makes their stories even more remarkable.